Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. So today we are discussing the latest launch from M.A.D. Editions in the MAD1 series that began back in 2021. Here we have the MAD1S. So a MB&F adjacent brand created by Max Busser. This is a more accessible watch from a price standpoint, but still quite exclusive in the sense that distribution has always been fairly selective. Now, the MAD1S right here was made available to Friends, which is the term for MB&F supplier, Tribe, the term for MB&F collectors, and then the general public. But the one for the general public has ice blue accents. The one for Tribe and Friends, purple only. So this is the MAD1S for Tribe and Friends in stainless steel. This is a watch that represents a thinner and Swiss-powered variant of the MAD1 series that first launched with the blue dial, or I should say the blue accents, back in 2021. The watch is 42 millimeters in diameter in stainless steel. It's a lot thinner than it used to be thanks to a new lug-to-lug movement. So the old MAD1 was M.A.D.1 power and 17.8 millimeters thick. This one is the lug-to-lug G101, which is going to give us a 15.3 millimeter thick case and 50.3 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 24 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. This watch came out in 2024, and as of the series launching that year, about 6,000 people cumulatively had received MAD1 models across the different versions. The green, the red, the blue, and the rainbow-colored Castle by Jacques. So this is the S, although it's sometimes known as the purple. And you can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, it wears quite easily. There's a curvature to the underside of the lugs in the case. You can see it helps it wrap around the wrist. And I would really say that this will probably work on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. Mine is 16. You can see it is meaningfully thinner than in the past and wears quite nicely. Down the barrel is always the decisive angle. Over the top always exaggerates the width of the watch. As you can see here, we have a strap that's a combination of leather, and then we've got this lovely textile and stitching on the top with a subtle black and purple contrast. A little bit of evacuation, a bit like the synthetic straps on sports watches in the 70s. We've got a double folding clasp with trigger release. You can see this right here, and the triggers do perform the release so it can't fly open inadvertently. MAD1, satin and polish both on this attractive clasp. Taking a quick look right there and then rolling back to the case, you can see the case is a medley of sapphires and steel, and that the steel is finished with both subtle satination and the majority of it in high polish. You can see that's one of Max's little, I guess you could say, one of his totems or symbols. It's a combination of the rotor and the turtle, and that is going to remind you, A, of the MB&F double-sided battle axe. This is like a tripled version of that. And then, of course, the turtle, a little, let's say, a talisman for Max, but also remember Kelly's and Chirp. It's reminiscent of that. If you remember the Kelly's and Chirp collaboration with Rouge, then you know where that comes from. Taking a look in profile, you can see this is a side-scroll watch, so we're going to take a quick look at how the time is displayed. This is a little bit distinct from previous versions in that it is very, very, very simple. We have hours only, and it moves at a very slow speed. But you got the little index right there, and then you've got no shortage of luminescence, so you can wear this and you can read it from the side, and you can enjoy the wildly wheeling light show of the tungsten rotor up on the top. The timepiece, of course, is a little bit like a driver's watch, and Max is no stranger to that genre because when your hand is on the wheel, you can easily see the time. Now, jumping to the reverse side, you can see there's not a whole lot to see on the case back. M.A.D. Edition, Maximilian Busser, of course, he's the founder of MB&F, the M.A.D. Galleries, once upon a time, the Harry Winston Opus series, and of course, MB&F and all it has done. 30 meters water resistant, so sporty watch, but do not swim with it. You can also see that the case back has a little bit of the form factor of the turtle, which is kind of fun. And then we get to the dial side, where you could appreciate that the G101 is not necessarily any prettier than the M.A.D., but it does allow the watch to be a lot thinner, and there's a big upgrade in power reserve, now 68 hours. It's a little bit humorous that for a watch that lacks both seconds and running minutes, there is a hacking function, but that's just germane to the movement, which is a 4 Hz 24 joule essentially 2892A2 sized automatic winder made in La Chaux de Fonds. And then the timepiece, as you can see, all around looks a lot more expensive than it is. The timepiece, all purple, only available to friends and tribe. The public version has ice blue accents and was available by raffle. So you've got a little bit of a sense of what makes the two different. They are immediately distinguishable from each other. So this 2024 launch being the fifth in the MAD1 series, the first one that's Swiss-powered, the best fitting by far, and of course, the only one that's purple. If you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.